Let me start by saying I do not get set off very easily. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that Josh is much more particular than I am, and it's frequently a point of differentiation between us on laptops. It helps you folks see both sides of things. I'm the kind of person who would spend $1,000 on a laptop and just sort of ignore if it has fan noise and light use or a clunky trackpad. So, when I tend to give everything the benefit of the doubt and think about who it might be good for rather than its flaws, just know that I really tried with the MSI Stealth A16. But at over $2,000 on sale and $2,800 at its MSRP, of course my expectations are going to be higher. Like all my reviews, I plug the laptop in at my desk, connect it to my dock, and get my user profile all set up. Immediately, there is this grating sound coming from the laptop. Seth and I both think this noise is from the fan's motors. It is a distinct whine that is really hard to ignore, even though it isn't super loud. This happens in either balanced or performance mode. We tried to take a recording of it, so take a listen. Moving on from the fan noise, the trackpad is centered on the keyboard deck while the keyboard itself is moved over to the left for a pitifully small numpad. This means that while I was writing the script, the left side of my right palm would sometimes actually click the trackpad. I've never had this happen on any laptop before, as I tend to angle my hands outward. Also, its palm rejection didn't work consistently. Occasionally, it moved my mouse cursor to somewhere I didn't want to be typing. It was annoying for me and even more egregious for Seth and Josh, where more of their palms rest on the trackpad. But most people are going to be using an external mouse with this laptop, so this shouldn't be an issue, right? I could just disable the trackpad. Well, not exactly. It still physically clicks when I rest my hand on it. Regardless, this isn't even the biggest issue with this laptop. Its large power cable sticking out of the right side massively gets in the way of your mouse if you're right-handed. I literally had to move my mouse pad further away, which is not where my hand naturally rests. During gaming, it was a major pain. How did MSI not think this would be an issue? But at least this laptop should be good at gaming, as it has a 5070 Ti, which is a huge step up from the 5070. It has more VRAM and is normally fed more power, but it's only fed 105 watts in this case. This is the lowest wattage 5070 Ti we've tested, and it is paired with a mid-tier performance processor. Not as powerful as competitors like the Strix G16 and Predator Helios Neo 16S. In TimeSpy, which utilizes both the CPU and the GPU, the Strix G16, which costs around the same amount, is 18% faster. Plus, it has a way better cooling solution. The Stealth, on the other hand, is one of the hottest laptops during gaming. The laptop feels just as hot as the 14-inch Zephyrus G14 feels with its metal chassis and higher wattage GPU. If everything I've said so far isn't a deal breaker for you, I do have some good news. In actual gaming, the lower wattage 5070 Ti doesn't make as much difference as you would think. In fact, the Stealth A16 performs better than many competing laptops with better CPUs and higher wattage 5070 Ti's. This is likely because the max wattage set by the manufacturer is not the only thing that determines performance. Its cooling solution, size of chassis, and things like that can also have an impact. In the case of MSI, it appears they are letting the whole laptop heat up to allow the GPU to run faster. Something else that might tempt you about the MSI is that it has a large battery, which leads to pretty good battery life for a gaming laptop, especially considering we couldn't lower the screen down to 60 Hz. This does mean it's heavier though, so there is a trade-off. Overall, the Stealth is less portable, expensive, not really enjoyable to use for lighter tasks, gets warm doing nothing, gets too hot in gaming, and you'll have to move your mouse annoyingly far away from the laptop if you're right-handed. Maybe if you just plan to dock the laptop and use an external mouse and keyboard, it could be a viable option for you. But it's not going to be one we recommend. If you are searching for a 5070 Ti laptop, check out our website bestlaptop.deals and just enter 5070 Ti into the search bar. You'll see all the laptops with that GPU across retailers. If you click on them, you'll see what we think of them, their pros and cons, a link to our full review, and our test data. If you just like hearing it from me, our top alternatives to the Stealth depend on what you're looking for. If you want a thin and light gaming laptop, definitely go for the Zephyrus G16. It's much more premium and portable. If you just want the best performance, we'd suggest the Legion Pro 7i, Strix G16, or Omen Max 16. All of them are thicker laptops, but they are able to perform better because of it. They are also more comfortable to game on. Realistically, this MSI should be a cheaper alternative, but it just isn't. It's pricey for all the issues it has. Its MSRP is around $2,800, and even on a good sale, it's around $2,000, which is more than the Predator Helios Neo 16S at its MSRP. If you're on a budget and don't mind the heat, that one is likely a better pick for you as it goes on sale much cheaper. So, there you have it. For all these reasons, we didn't think the Stealth A16 deserved a dedicated review this year, but rather a short summary video. Like I said, there are much better alternatives, and you deserve to enjoy using your laptop, which we just don't see happening with this MSI. Thanks for supporting the channel. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video, and until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.